My resume has a bunch of different experiences on it, but it's unique in something that I think I have done more of than almost any other person that I know of, and that is purchase donuts. You see, in the last 17 years, I have done hundreds and probably thousands of teen classes, and my signature refreshment inevitably is almost donuts. As a matter of fact, in retrospect, I probably should have bought stock in Entenmann's or some other donut company. The kids always ask, Rabbi, like, why donuts? And in my rabbinic, poor sense of humor, I respond, what do you mean? This is a Jewish organization, and donuts are holy. Speaking about holiness, I'd like to ask you to take a moment and think about what comes to your mind when I say the word holy. All right, by now, something should have come into your mind. I'm sure for some of you, it may be a very holy person, perhaps some hermit or, some recluse who spends their life, contemplating on spirituality. Maybe holiness, you're thinking about a place that's really holy or a time that's really holy. And actually, there's an obligation on every single Jew to be holy. Which begs the question, what does it mean to be holy? What is holiness? So there's many different explanations, and there's actually quite a large disparity as to what holiness really is. But I'm just going to share one idea or concept. Holiness is living your life just a drop deeper, just a drop more meaningful, just a drop more spiritual than your average person. It's living your life more reflectively. It's living your life with more self-control. It's living your life with a little bit of a stronger connection to God. It's living your life on a spiritually higher plane. That's holiness. And that is an obligation on every Jew, man, woman, and child, regardless of their background, their education, or their affiliation. It's an obligation to be just a little bit holier, a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more pure than your average person that you're surrounded by. Holiness really has a number of outlets. Sometimes holiness can be in a place, the Western Wall, a synagogue. Sometimes in a person, a great tzaddik, a righteous person, a Torah scholar, a very kind and benevolent person. It could also be in a time, Yom Kippur, Shabbat. There's so many different outlets for holiness. But the common denominator is that each of those is a little bit more elevated, a little bit more spiritually connected than the average typical place, person, or thing. And that's our challenge. Our challenge is to look ourselves in the mirror and be honest with ourselves. If we compare ourselves to just your typical average person, can we confidently say, you know what, I'm living on a little bit of a higher spiritual plane. I'm just that much more sensitive. I do have just a little bit of a deeper relationship with the Almighty. I am more improved on my character than perhaps your typical person. If yes, you're fulfilling that mitzvah of kedoshim to you, of being holy. If not, well, maybe your holiness is just the holiness of donuts. Don't sell yourself short. Kedoshim to you. Be holy. Until next Shabbat, lots of success and best wishes for a holy Shabbat.